In today's class, we are going to discuss a topic called as kinds of agents. Before we get inside the ways of classifying agents, let us first see who is called as an agent. So, agent is a person, he has been appointed or nominated by the principal in order to do something or in order to transact some business by the principal. So now we will see what are all the different ways of classifying agents. We can classify the agents based on two major criteria. One is based on the extent of the authority given by the principal to the agent, and the another way of classifying the agent is based on the nature of work performed by them. So first we'll see the first type, that is based on the extent of authority given by the principal to the agents. We have three major types. One is special agent, general agent, and the third one it is universal agent. So first we'll see who is called as a special agent. A special agent, the name itself makes it very clear. He is a person, he is appointed by the principal in order to perform a particular act or in order to transact a particular business transactions. So like he has got a very limited authority, and as soon as the work is done, the relationship between the principal and the special agent comes to an end. So here we got an example. Mahesh employs Sachin as his agent to sell his house in Chennai. That is, Mahesh has got a house in Chennai. He appoints Sachin to sell his house on his behalf. So as soon as the house gets sold, the relationship between Mahesh and Sachin comes to an end. The second type of classification is called as general agent. The name itself makes it very clear. This type of agent, he performs all type of activities on behalf of his principal. The authority to do all acts connected with a particular trade or business. So, for a particular trade or business, the principal appoints agent, and that agent will act for that particular trade or business alone. The principal is bound by the agent's act done within the scope of his authority. So here we got an example. Surya owns three business. One is oil business, tractor business, and third one he has got a gold house or a gold shop. For each of his business, he has a separate manager. So the manager for oil company, he will take care or he will take decision or he will represent Surya only for oil business. Similarly, for the gold shop, there will be a showroom manager. He acts as an agent only for that gold shop. So like that, for a particular business, they have an agent and their powers are limited only to that particular business. The third way of classifying the agent is universal agent. The name itself makes it very clear. Universal agent means the authority to act for the principal is unlimited. When compared to the previous two types, this agent has got more powers delegated by the principal to him, that he represents him in both personally as well as officially, provided it is legal. For example, personal secretary. Mostly politicians, film stars, industrial people and all, they used to have personal secretary. They take care of the needs of both the personal needs as well as the official needs of the principal. So next we come to the second major way of classifying the agents, that is based on the nature of work performed by them. So based on the nature of work performed by the agents, we can classify them into three major types. One is commercial or mercantile agent. The second way is banker, and the third type is non-mercantile agent. So let us first see who is called as a commercial or a mercantile agent. So this commercial or a mercantile agent, he has been given the authority by the principal either to sell goods or to consign goods for the purpose of sale or to raise money on the security of the goods. So he is an agent, he has been appointed by the principal for the purpose of sale of goods. So under this mercantile agents, we have five major types are there. So let us see the first type of mercantile agent, that is factor. So factor means he is being entrusted with the possession of the goods for the purpose of sale. Here the principal gives the goods in person to the factor. The reason is he wants it to be sold off. He sells the goods in his own name. The factor can sell the goods of the principal in his own name, and he can also sell the goods on credit as well. He has been given the authority and the power to sell the goods on credit as well by the principal. So here we got an example. Ramanan, who owned a car, and he delivered it to Suman, a mercantile agent, for a sale not less than rupees 3 lakhs. That is, Mr. Ramanan, he owns a car. He gave it to Suman, a mercantile agent, to sell that car for a price not less than 3 lakh rupees. Suppose if Suman was able to find a buyer who is willing to buy the car for the price of 4 lakh rupees, means the difference of 4 lakh minus 3 lakh, 1 lakh rupees is the revenue or the profit earned by Suman on the sale of this car. The second type of mercantile agent is called as auctioneer. So auctioneer, this word we mostly used to come across in business and all. So what happened? An auctioneer is a person, he is appointed by the seller to sell his goods by public auction. That is, here the goods will be delivered to the auctioneer, and the auctioneer will conduct a public auction and he will try to sell the goods. The reward he gets is in the form of a commission. For selling the goods in auction, what the auctioneer gets in return is called as a commission. For example, P instructed A to sell his painting in auction for a price not less than rupees 10 lakhs for a commission of 10% on selling price. Suppose here we got an example. P has got a painting that he gave to an auctioneer to be sold at a price not less than 10 lakhs. So auctioneer will conduct a public auction. In that, he tries to sell the painting of Mr. P. Suppose the painting was sold at the price of 15 lakhs of rupees. So what happened on 15 lakh of rupees? 10%. That is 15,000 the auctioneer will get in the form of commission. So auctioneer here he will try to sell the goods. In return, he takes commission on the selling price. The third type of mercantile agent is called as broker. So broker means he is being employed in order to buy or sell the goods on behalf of another person. We used to hear like house brokers, share brokers and all these people. What do is that either they used to buy or they used to sell. To bring the contractual relationship between the principal and the third party. The job of a broker is to bring the principal and the third party together in order to buy something or in order to sell something. He is not being entrusted with the possession of the goods. When compared to the previous types and all, the goods are being given possession to the agent. But under the broker, he will not hold the possession of the goods. His job is to bring the buyer and the seller together for the purpose of buying or sale. The fourth type of mercantile agent is called as commission agent. The name itself makes it very clear. He is an agent. He works for commission. He is employed to buy and sell goods. He receives for his labor a money payment called as commission. So what happened? This man, commission agent, is also a type of a mercantile agent. His job is to sell the product or sell the goods. In return, he takes on about commission from both the buyer as well as the seller. The fifth type of mercantile agent is called as Delcredar agent. So Delcredar agent, what happened was it, or what is very unique about him is he guarantees his principal. Okay. So third party will perform his obligation. So a Delcredar agent, what he does was that apart from or along with bringing the buyer and the seller together, he also gives guarantee to the principal that the third party will perform his obligation, and he holds the position of both guarantor and agent. He does the job of both agent as well as he also acts as the guarantor. He guarantees that the third party will perform his obligation to the principal. So these are the 5 types of mercantile agent. First one, it is factor. The second one, it is auctioneer. Third one, it is broker. Fourth one, it is commission agent. and the fifth one it is del credar agent. All these are the first type of mercantile agent. Now we come to the second major type of classifying agents based on the nature of work performed by them. That is, we have banker. So banker means the relationship between a banker and a customer is like a debtor and a creditor. We all of us used to have some bank accounts, no? Either it is savings account or current account or whatever it may be. The relationship between the banker and a customer is like a debtor and a creditor. The banker acts like an agent of the customer. When I issue a check, the banker will honor the check. When I want to deposit money, the banker will accept the money. When I want to withdraw the money, the banker gives me the money. So, whatever instruction is given by the customer, the banker will act accordingly. So, the banker is considered upon as the agent of the customer. And the last type of classifying the agent is non-mercantile agents. Non-mercantile agents means they include solicitors, that is company lawyers, insurance agents, clearing and forwarding agents. Mostly in export companies and all we can find the clearing and forwarding agents, insurance agents and all, they come under this non-mercantile agents. So in today's class we had seen what is the basic way of classifying the agents. We got two major ways of classifying the agents. Under the first type, based on the authority given to them by the principal, we can classify them into special agents, universal agents and general agents. Under the second type, based on the nature of work performed by the agents, we can classify them into mercantile agents, banker and non-mercantile agents. Under mercantile agents, we have another 5 more types are there. One is the factor, second one auctioneer, the third one he is a broker, fourth one commission agent and fifth one del credar agent. So these are the two broad criteria or ways of classifying agents. Thank you.